In the last meeting between the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Run DMC showed why he is the most dominant running back in the league today, rushing for over 200 yards and destroying the Titans' soft-ass defense. With his crazy spin moves and insane agility, Darren McFadden demonstrated why the Jacksonville Jaguars will win the AFC South and advance to win the motherfucking Super Bowl. Now it is time for a rematch of arguably the most fierce rivalry in the NFL. Now here's Rich Eisen with more.
Hey guys, it's me, Rich Eisen, and earlier this week we caught up with Darren McFadden. Let's go to that clip real quick to show you what he had to say. Hey guys, I'm here with Run DMC, and I'm here to ask you, how do you feel about the Tennessee Titans?
Oh shit.
So let me go ahead and ask you, how do you feel about the Tennessee Titans?
I don't like them, I run all over them all day, every day, and they just can't seem to stop me. I'm too fast, too agile, and I got that spin move. So it sucks.
What about
for them.
Jay Cutler?
Yeah, fuck Jay Cutler. I hate that motherfucker. He talks a lot of shit, and he's cocky, and he's white. Fuck that guy. That pretty much wraps it up.
Hi guys, it's Rich Eisen again. And after that crazy Darren McFadden interview, we had to interview Jay Cutler to find out how he felt about this.
Then in your first meeting this year in week 2, you guys were the captains. There wasn't much of a handshake. Is there an issue that's going on here?
Oh, goodness. We're not best of friends at all. We don't really have a lot of contact with each other. Like you said, it's become a nice rivalry. We're both younger guys, both on pretty good teams in the same division. We get to see each other twice. I'm just not that big of a fan of the guy.
Is it that he is too cocky? I mean, I didn't like it when he was yelling at you last year.
I don't like how he carries himself. I don't like some of the stuff he does on the field.
Okay, cool.
Hi guys, it's Rich Eisen again, and it's just about that time for kickoff, so we're going to take it over to the actual game footage. I hope you have a good game. After all that crazy drama, it's time to take it out on the field and find out what happens. Jacoby Ford's going to be returning the kick, or not. I'm not really sure what he wants to do with the ball. But Jay Cutler, he stepped up a lot in this game, and he shows that white people do in fact run, and run well at that. That's one of the key points of this game, is whether Jay Cutler was able to get out of the pocket and scramble for a couple of yards. Last game he wasn't able to do so. He kind of forced a lot of throws and ended up with a couple of interceptions. Jay Cutler seems to be running the ball very well. And here the rookie Justin Handy, 28th overall selection, first round, comes up with a big grab. Another thing that kept on happening last game was Jay Cutler seemed to always throw the deep slants and try to get throws in that weren't really there. So this time it worked out for him. And as you see, Rob Household or something, whatever, made a big block right there. So Arian Foster gets in for a touchdown. Now it's time to see whether Darren McFadden can be stopped by this Tennessee Titan defense. Last game we weren't able to stop the defense. The Darren McFadden. We weren't able to stop him. He was tearing us up. But I feel like this game we should be able to contain him a lot more. We know they're going to be running the ball a lot. And he fumbles. Life's great right now. So it's an early fumble. It doesn't really mean anything, but hopefully his dynamic player performance goes down and he starts playing like shit. But I'll never know. I don't know what I was throwing there, but I'm trying to get some points on the board, trying to go up by 10-0. So it's showing up pretty good now. The rookie John Holmes, second-year pro John Holmes is a beast. He's unblockable. But well, spent for that one. Well, he still got off of that one, but he's not able to single-handedly stop the run. He does need help from the linebackers, obviously. Now a big pass to Darius Hayward-Bay. Darius Hayward-Bay is one of the players that was more silent every time the Titans and the Jaguars met up, or anytime these two players met up, or I met up with the other guy. But this game, he seemed to be getting in his motion, and Darren McFadden runs it again for a touchdown, which I'm very familiar with. He seems to be doing all the time, as you saw in the intro. He tore me up last game pretty bad.
I don't want to put it away.
I hear Larry Fitzgerald, he's my star wide receiver, and he catches everything. He really helps out, especially in the goal line fade situation. Arian Foster is playing good. I wanted to run the ball a lot this game, just because I wanted to keep the time of possession and avoid throwing the interceptions with Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is good and all. He has the right stats and stuff, but he's just not as accurate as as a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning, which kind of sucks sometimes because he's not making all the throws. He's a real gunslinger. He has a high power, but not the most accurate quarterback at all times. So I'm making another field goal, trying to get the point with Dan Carpenter. Dan Carpenter has a boot, so I can make any field goal from anything as long as it's under like 65. Antoine Casey was probably MVP just because he was making all the tackles for losses and stuff like that. And Larry Fitzgerald obviously played very well. He always plays well. He always has a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, especially in goal lines, like I said before. But Jay Cutler tried to scramble again, and I couldn't pull it off with Jay Cutler. I think he has like a 71 speed, which is pretty good for a quarterback, for a white quarterback. But it is what it is. Now he's trying to get a touchdown right before the second half, so I didn't let him do that. But Darren McFadden, as you can see, is just this guy's. Him and AP are just the hardest people to play against. But Raheem Moore, UCLA, hooks up with USC, Taylor Mays, and they get a fumble and a fumble recovery. It's pretty cool. Jay Cutler scrambling. Always good to see a white quarterback run. Arian Foster just played his lights out this whole game. Had a lot of big yard games. And the big touchdown by Arian Foster. It helps put us up by a lot. Earl Thomas, my free safety, comes up with a big interception over the middle. Looks like the defense is holding Darren McFadden to a decent extent. Darren McFadden doesn't seem to be as big of a factor as he was in the previous games. Let's see if we can get this goal line fade to work. Quick fade to Fitzgerald, and he comes up with a big touchdown. Don't know if he was pushed out, but it looks like he got his foot in, so I'm not going to complain. I'm going to take the touchdown. Now, I wasn't able to get as much pressure against him as I wanted to. Normally I've never been a real sack kind of person, but last game I did end up with a couple, and this one I don't think I really ended up with any sacks at all. But I was getting lucky. He started missing. I was lucky kind of that he had Josh Freeman, who's an all right quarterback, but he's not the best. So he does, get out of his tendency. And I have no user. That shit was horrible. He threw it right at me, and I couldn't pick it off. But he's trying to get Darren McFadden involved, because that's his whole offense right there. Obviously, Josh Freeman ain't the best quarterback, so he's not going to win them the game. And Antoine Casey comes up with a big interception that pretty much seals the game for me. I mean, it's already 27-7. It's not like I was going to lose. But he did win me the first time, so I'm very happy. And this game does mean a lot to me just because the winner does pretty much win the division, even though it's early in the season. It's like week 5 or so. But we are both tied for number 1 in the division. And I want to win a Super Bowl, and this is my road to Super Bowl. I'm going to win it this year. But it's pretty cool. I mean, I don't have any offensive linemen when I drafted originally. I drafted a lot of skill players, and Adrian Claiborne with a big-ass leaping sack, which is pretty fucking tight. I don't see that very often, but when I do, I make sure I feel good about it. So I had my little moment there. 81 with a touchdown. He's trying to stay in the game, which is pretty he's trying to pad the stats so you can tell Mommy had a good game. I like when they say that in Madden. But, I won, and it's over. And it feels great, and I know how to beat him now just because, if I stop Darren McFadden or don't allow the big run with Darren McFadden for a touchdown, I could pretty much win the game. Sooner or later, he will fumble. He's one of those. He's not necessarily fumble prone, but he does fumble. And I don't know, Josh Freeman, I mean, he's a pretty fast quarterback, actually. I don't know why I didn't get unnecessary roughness on that play. But it is what it is. And big pass to Darren McFadden, who's been tearing me up in the past game. 4 receptions for 61 yards is a little much for any running back. Not to mention he probably had a lot more rushing yards. I wasn't sure on the stats. I didn't check the stats, and I'm sorry. Don't kill me for that later. Don't know what the fuck happened there. I think it just glitched, but I'm sorry. It's the same play, but it's done again. Josh Freeman trying to scramble. I guess he was trying to do my little tactic where I take off. If there's no QB spy or no no middle linebacker in the middle. And Raheem Moore has been fucking jacking everyone up. I didn't know he had such a good, such a thump. I always thought he was a more covered guy, but he's laying out some people, and he's been laying some people out all game. I think I just blacked out. What the fuck? What the fuck? But I was able to make a nice goal line stand against Darren McFadden, who, to me, it meant a lot just because I wasn't able to stop him. And my douche Hausler, he's my new starting tight end this season. He has more speed than all the other guys, but here he shows off his speed, his 84 whopping speed or whatever he has. You know, trying to get caught by Darrelle Revis and some other fast guys. But you know, this win feels good, so I'm gonna go home and take the win. Luis Castillo's gonna get a. This is. It's like, no, leave him. Let him go. Let him go. It's a penalty. It's holding. Don't worry about it. It's holding. Yeah, you know, just let him score. It's holding. Roughing the passer. Fuck. So it was, you know, it's one of the low points of the game, but that was pretty funny. Now I did for some reason think he was gonna mount a comeback. I thought he was gonna get a bunch of onside, but Antonio Brown has something to say about that, and he just pretty much sealed the game. There is your dagger, I guess. He sealed the game for me, and so did Jay Cutler. At this last play, he wanted to show off how badass he was, one-on-one Revis against Fitz, and you know, Fitz showed him what's up. So thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you guys think about my new style of videos.